How'd you come up with the business?
Well, so I actually didn't get a DSLR camera until 2014. But when I did, I was asking my friends for models that would allow me to practice my skills. And a friend of mine had, she said that I could photograph her guinea pigs. So I'm like, okay. She had 160 guinea pigs at the time because she actually would breed the guinea pigs and take them to guinea pig and rabbit shows where they would, compete for best in breed and things like
Wow.
that. So she would come over to my house with animals of all different kinds, frogs, dogs, cats, rabbits, guinea pigs, birds, all goats. She even came over with an alpaca to my house one time. And we would do it for fun. We would set up, a little studio and little scenes. We would go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's and walk up and down the aisles and get inspiration. I would see, people pictures online and say, how can we do this with the guinea pig? And we would just create things for fun. But I'm an entrepreneur in my blood. It's who I am. So as soon as I had something that was of value to other people, my impulse is to offer it, to market it, and to sell it. And I got some of my work on display in a local gallery, but fast forward to 2016, I moved to Suffolk from Charlottesville, and why that is relevant is because I worked with a realtor to buy my home, and I told him, like, I can do real estate, images for sure. Do you need that? I can do that for you. And he said yes, and so I started photographing for him and sent me some referrals. And I was at that point building a business, a photography business, but I didn't have a vision forward. I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do with it. So I stumbled upon a mentor and started working with her. One of the questions that she asked me is, if I had to choose one genre of photography, no matter what it was, the income would be the same, what would I choose? And I would choose to work with animals all day, every day. But I was concerned that there was no market for that, because, when you have a senior in high school, you are going to find a senior portrait photographer, or when you go to get married, you're going to find a wedding photographer. But who at home with 9 tarantulas or 3 cats or a pig is on the internet or asking or even aware that they can have them photographed, and that it is possible even if they're not perfectly well trained? Most people just aren't really even aware that they can't. So I was very concerned on how am I going to build a business when people don't even know that this is something that they can get. And so it actually took me about 6 months to fully jump in with both feet and commit to specializing in pets.
And you started in your home.
Yeah.
And then now you're in MacArthur Center Mall in downtown Norfolk. Can you talk us through the mindset and the process of making that leap from home-based to actual retail space?
Yeah, that's a great story. So when I was working with the mentor, she told me about lead collection and the power of collecting the information from people who are interested in your service and you getting their information rather than, sitting back and waiting for your phone to ring. And so I implemented that right away, and I went to an event called the World of Pets. It's in Hampton, an amazing expo. It's so much fun. I went there in February of 2017, and I think I collected about 150 leads from people at the show interested in portraits. And I knew that I was going to book at least 10% of them. And at that time, each one of my clients would come in 3 times. And in Suffolk, you're not allowed to actually have a home-based photography studio.
So when you were at the, so just to deep dive on that a little bit more. So you were at the World of Pets as like a vendor, and people would walk by and say, is that what we're saying?
Yeah. So, and remember how I said that I started off with putting some of my art pieces in a local gallery? Well, and that led to becoming interested in art shows. And so I registered for my first art show, which was at the Ocean View Art Show in Norfolk in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2015. I don't remember, but and so I had the tent, I had display panels that I had created myself, and I basically built a booth for the art shows. So I just took that booth and got a space as a vendor at the World of Pets.
Tim, have you ever been to World of Pets?
No, I've never heard of it. I'm learning all kinds of stuff.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Is really it at the Coliseum?
No, it's at the thing next to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want me to keep going with the story?
Yeah. I think that's really important because I think a lot of people, you're explaining, you're deep diving very well, and so I keep it going. Don't listen to me.
So, and marketing is you figure out where your target market is and you get in front of them, right? And so that's what I did at the World of Pets. That's obviously where all our pet parents are, and I got in front of them. And there may be 150. I'm talking with my hands. 150 or 150,000 photographers, but if you're at an event, you are the one who is in front of them. Mm-hmm. So it's a really great way to stick out to potential customers. And so I knew, if I had 15 clients and they all are coming in 3 times, then, that's going to be 45 appointments to my house that I'm not supposed to be. Is way too much traffic. I need to get a commercial studio space. So, I've ever since then, every other time, it's just always just grown out of where I've currently been. And I found a little 850 square foot office behind Dunkin' Donuts on Western Branch Boulevard. And it was only $600 a month, but
that's off High Street.
No, in Western Branch, Chesapeake.
Uh-huh.
Is it? Yeah. I think
High
it's
Street by the Wawa and all that stuff. Right where Portsmouth and Suffolk. Okay.
Western Branch Boulevard, a Grand Furniture is there. The car dealerships are there. And I actually had to cash out this huge jar of change to get the $300 security deposit for my first commercial studio space.
Piggy bank.
Because I just didn't have the cash. I just didn't have it, but I had the jar. So,
but I mean, how appropriate is it that your piggy bank,
right?
I mean, come on. You should talk about that more. Like the fact that it was an animal-based piggy bank. I mean, come on, that's a pretty good story there.
Yeah, and then actually the landlord of that office building, she actually had me photograph her pig. That's the other pig. Remember I told you that we photographed 2 pigs? So there's Oscar, and then that one's Stella, also a really good pig. So we were there in that little 850 square foot studio for a year and a half, I think. And we grew out of it. I got employees and it was not big enough. So we leased a admin office that was about a block away in another horrible little brick strip mall thing. But the first one was pretty nice, but and so we were there for 1 year with the 2 separate offices and just growing out of, we had so much business, but we could only meet with 1 client at a time in the current studio. And we really wanted to increase our portraits, but we actually ran out of room on the calendar and needed to expand our capabilities. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. So then we started looking at the mall, and that's kind of a long story too. But we ended up moving into the MacArthur Center Mall in the old Percolator space. In March 1st, 2020 was our first day open in the MacArthur Mall.
And then you ran out of space again, correct? And now you're getting ready to open up another location in Williamsburg?
Yeah, well, this is not as much because we ran out of room, even though we are running out of room in Norfolk too, mostly for our post-production type department with all of the art pieces that are coming in. But we're expanding up here to Richmond, to Williamsburg, to expand our market up north, and we're pulling some clients from Richmond too. So it's an expansion.
Is it